It's no longer really an opportunity or choice, it's an imperative. To telling the story, how do we make sure that we're taking full advantage of any and all assets that are on the grid and at customer premises.
Welcome everyone to the EI360 podcast. My name is Sandy Coughlin and I am joined today with our CEO David Swank, and I've got other team members here that look familiar, I'm sure. RB Sloan, who's an energy consultant with us, and our newest team member, Jennifer Goss, who is Executive Vice President here. And David, we're coming off of a really successful couple of weeks. We had a great show at Next. We talked about that last week, but there's kind of a theme that's been rolling through the industry, and we're big on themes here.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's seen our mobile microgrid, but we have a little theme on our mobile microgrid called Generation of Toaster. That comes up a lot around here. Mm-hmm. Talk about that, David.
Well, it's a theme that RB Sloan came up with several years ago. One of the things that NX we're proud of is that we represent both sides of the meter, front of the meter, behind the meter. And for many of us who have been in the utility industry for so many years, as those who listen, we just know how important it is to be able to have visibility on both the grid side and beyond the meter. We're hearing that so often from our customers. So, this whole idea of generation to toaster kind of being that, the generation to the edge, and we hear a lot about decentralization and edge computing, so the toaster represents the edge. So I know you're going to talk a little bit about this little giveaway item.
Yeah, so we have a really fun giveaway. If you come to our conference in DistribuTech or NRICA Tech Advantage, you too can have your own piece of squishy toast. So anyway, but to get more serious, another really awesome theme that's rolling through the industry is resiliency, yes?
Yeah, we're talking a lot about resiliency, and of course the whole industry is talking about resiliency. For those of us, again, who came from the industry, we've talked about reliability. People expect when that light switch gets turned on that power is there, and we're facing some very challenging and almost daunting times, and it's exciting, as you said, Sandy, to have RB and Jennifer as a part of the team. I can't tell you both how much I just appreciate you. We've known each other for many years. We're not using how many years now, but we've known we've known each other for many years.
Starting to measure in decades.
Yeah, I have such respect and admiration for what you have done in the industry, what you've achieved in the industry, and selfishly, I'm excited about what you're going to help us achieve. In terms of NX as a team, and so. We're just really excited about as we move forward in the next few months. We're going to be going to, the DistribuTech conference at the end of this month, and then we're going to be in the National Rural Electric Cooperative Association Tech Advantage the first part of March, and just really looking forward to reconnecting with a lot of folks. But we really want to hear from Jennifer and RB today a little bit about their perspective of a conference we just came off of called the Next Conference, which was sponsored by Touchstone Energy. And of course, that's near and dear to Jennifer. She served on the board with Touchstone Energy at one time. But Jennifer, really like just for you to share, if you would, a little bit of some of the takeaways and really what that represented, and in a sense, how that represents what's happening in the industry today.
Absolutely. Thank you, David. Well, I think it was really fascinating. I think we're witnessing a true paradigm shift from decades, unfortunately plural, of conferences that I've attended, and I know that you both have, in the industry, where the discussion really has been about affordable, reliable power. And different times there's been the addition of responsible but today, and the theme of the conference was resiliency. And I really do believe that we are witnessing a paradigm shift in the industry, leaning towards a focus on resiliency. And for the co-ops, I know that it's top of mind for our co-ops, but it's also top of mind for your C&I customers. That's what they're talking about. And I hope that you're all talking, I hope Co-op Nation is talking to your C&I customers about resiliency, because that's the theme of the conference for certain. And that's what we are hearing also from those large C&I accounts that we talk with. I also thought it was really fascinating that there's still a growing concern around our supply chain. Given the state of the world and the nation, I was hoping to hear that we have relief coming, but that's not at all what I heard. There were several speakers that are suppliers to utilities whether they be rural electric cooperatives or investor owned, and they're talking about concerns around supply chain, specifically transformers, feeders, etc. So that was frankly alarming, but all in all, really great conference. Really engaged participants attend this conference, and that was really enheartening for me to witness and be a part of. So
that's great. That's great stuff. And Jennifer, and I think for all of us, we're so used to this kind of linear approach to things,
right?
And now it's so dynamic. I mean,
it is.
You mentioned paradigm and resiliency kind of together, and yet there is a major, even though resiliency's been around, is paradigm of how we do it. And then of course you're mentioning supply chain, and supply chain's a huge part of that resiliency. So, there's just so many aspects, dynamics, areas that need to be considered today. And of course, again, we talk about it, that idea of a singular platform.
That's right.
That kind of gives visibility across all of that you just described. RB, as Jennifer talked about resiliency, I mean, being an engineer and working as CEO at, large co-ops, municipals, being on national boards, you've seen a lot in terms of the industry, and I'm not saying that you
no way sound old. Go ahead.
But truthfully, I think one of the things that we hope to provide our clients is significant domain knowledge. I mean, technology is only as good as how it's applied in the industry, and we talk about. I mean, one thing about NX, we're not a plug and play necessarily. We like to try to make things plug and play, but it's a very complex engine. And I'd just like to hear your take on, resiliency and how there are paradigm shifts, but yet it's been with us since the beginning.
Yeah, I recall when Katrina and Rita came through the Gulf Coast, and we couldn't get anything having to do with piping. But back then we were thinking 3, 4, 6 months. They're talking about 200 weeks now. I mean, that's 4 years on some items, and you don't plan for that. It's just not something we're accustomed to. The other thing, back to some of the things that Jim was saying, the idea of power quality is all, as you say, has been around forever, but now it's risen to a higher standard, higher expectation, and that's not going to go away. And so you can't get the equipment, when you can't be able to harden your system, it changes the way you do things. And our C&I customers at the co-op level and ones we talk to, it's not something that is easily fulfilled in their mindset. And so it's a constant effort. And the standards of the past, the 99.99%, doesn't mean a thing anymore.
That's well said, RB, well said. Well, Sandy, one of the things we talked about when we came in here today was that you had turned the air conditioner off. And that it gets a little hot in here. And we told Sandy she did that intentionally so that we would keep this short, so you can appreciate that we're going to have some brevity. But I'm saying that kiddingly. I'll turn it back to you, but before I do, thank you both for just being such a tremendous asset to NX. I mean that sincerely. And such tremendous friends over the years that you've been. But I hope one thing that a lot of our clients and audience see as we move forward is that we're so proud of our technology, to say the least. But the technology is only as good as the application and how it brings solutions to our clients. And that's why it's so important to have, I believe, the domain knowledge, the skill set, the understanding that you all bring. So Sandy, we're excited about the next few conferences. Please come by, see these folks. I think you're going to find that not only is our technology a tremendous solution for you, but just as importantly that the consultation, the guidance, and the direction that they could provide add such tremendous value. So thank you very much.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
I can't say it any better, so we're going to just stop right there. Thanks so much.
Thank
See you
you.
next time.